Hey guys, Pixelpar here, and today we're going to take a quick look at the changes and additions that Nintendo are bringing to Pikmin 3 Deluxe. It's been 7 years since Pikmin 3 launched on Nintendo Wii U, and Nintendo have finally decided to slap Deluxe on the end of the title and bring it on over to Nintendo Switch. There's not a great deal of footage to analyse at the moment, although the announcement trailer does have a couple of interesting things to point out. However, Nintendo were kind enough to throw in some new content and gameplay enhancements in the Switch version, which we'll also be going over. So let's get stuck in. If you've played or seen the original Pikmin 3, then you'll probably have noticed that the Switch visuals look more or less the same as the Wii U's. Everything shown in the Pikmin 3 Deluxe announcement trailer appears to be a one-for-one match with the Wii U. Well, that's not entirely true, but at first glance it certainly seems that way. There are a couple of standout shots in the announcement trailer that do show Nintendo have tweaked a few things along the way. The first being Alf's crash landing. Comparing the Nintendo Switch trailer to the Wii U footage, we can see that the vast majority of the crash landing is exactly the same. Well, until Alf hits the water. For some reason, the development team seems to have swapped out the ground texture scene under the water for one that looks a little simpler. This becomes even more apparent when we're viewing from the top down, as the small sunken rocks below Alf have clearly been omitted. This change in ground textures seems to be a reoccurring theme throughout the port. During the announcement trailer, we also get to see the landing site in the Garden of Hope. Comparing this to the original Wii U version shows that some areas have undergone minor texture changes, in this case, to make a section of the map appear greener. Looking back at the crash landing scene from the trailer, we also get a glimpse of Brittany's landing in Pikmin 3 Deluxe, which, when compared to the Wii U version, shows that the layering position of the petals underneath her have been adjusted slightly. Why? Your guess is as good as mine, but all this tweaking does confirm that Pikmin 3 Deluxe has had some minor graphical adjustments. Maybe emphasis on the minor. The only other graphical change I've spotted doesn't actually come from the announcement trailer, but rather a screenshot shown on the official Pikmin 3 Deluxe website. Here we get a glimpse of the distant tundra map on Nintendo Switch, and there are two notable changes here, both of which, you guessed it, relate to ground textures. Comparing this to a top-down of the same area on Wii U, you'll immediately notice that the team have added a new icy pathway in the Deluxe version. The slope on the right has also been adjusted, and it now features a different texture to the original Wii U version, swapped from snow to a texture similar to the one seen at the foot of the slope. Based on the footage we've seen so far, it's clear Pikmin 3 Deluxe has had some minor adjustments, but overall it seems as though the models, animations, and everything in between remain pretty much the same as the original Wii U version. So what about the resolution and frame rate? Well, based on samples taken from the announcement trailer and the press shots provided by Nintendo, Pikmin 3 Deluxe appears to be running at around 720p native. This then appears to be upscaled to 1080p, which would presumably only be available while docked. For comparison, the original Pikmin 3 also ran at a native 720p, and was also upscaled to 1080p on Nintendo Wii U. In terms of frame rate, unfortunately we have to rely solely on the announcement trailer footage, which is admittedly not the best source. Due to this, we're not able to use any frame rate analysis software, but thankfully Nintendo did upload the trailer in 60 FPS, which means we can count the frames by hand. Manual frame counting shows that the announcement trailer footage is running at 30 frames per second, which is exactly the same frame rate we saw on Nintendo Wii U. Now, before drawing definitive conclusions on the Nintendo Switch port's performance, it is important to keep in mind that these conclusions were drawn based on resources available during the announcement. We don't know when this footage was captured, or what optimizations the development team may take during a 2-month period before launch. However, as it stands, at the time of the announcement, both the Deluxe Switch port and the Wii U versions seem to be running at the same resolution and frame rate. At this point, you're probably wondering where all these Deluxe enhancements actually are. Well, most of them are tucked away in the gameplay and content. Pikmin 3 Deluxe comes packing the original story mode from Pikmin 3, 2 brand new side story missions, all the mission modes from the original game and DLC, the competitive bingo battle mode, the ability to play the story mode in co-op, new difficulty options, a lock-on targeting system, they've added the Piclopedia, and optional hints. Although I'm pretty sure the Wii U version had them too. Oh yeah, and we've now dropped the Wii U gamepad, so you'll get your video transmissions directly on the main screen, and they've given us a handy little minimap in the corner. I've no idea why they removed the day count though. That's it for now folks, thanks for watching, and if you liked this video then remember to give it a thumbs up. If you want to be notified about future videos then be sure to hit that subscribe button and then you'll be the first to know as soon as they go live.